Hello students, so happy to see that you are all joining us today. My name is Patsy Rodriguez. I'm a CTE specialist. Now I'm going to quickly pass it on to my co-presenters so they can introduce themselves.
Hello everyone, my name is Kimberly Gomez and I'm a first year persistent specialist with CalSoap LA.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Hector Favela. I'm one of the first year persistent specialists for CalSoap LA as well.
All right, so today's presentation is about the California College Promise Act. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I just want to briefly go over our CalSoap mission. So CalSoap Los Angeles seeks to increase the academic and college preparation skills of eligible disadvantaged students. CalSoap Los Angeles provides support services, resources, and opportunities to underrepresented students and families in the greater area of Los Angeles in order to increase post-secondary participation and success. So what we'll be discussing today, this is kind of like our agenda. We're going to go over what is California Promise Act, what the eligibility requirements are, how you apply, the academic requirements, and then any questions or contact information that you might have. Also, at the end of this presentation, we're also going to be having our students break into breakout rooms so you can be assisted either for your financial aid or your California Promise Act or your DREAM Act or your CC community college application. So what is the California College Promise Grant? So the California College Promise Grant was actually known as the BOG waiver. Some of you probably have heard that already. Essentially what it is it's a statewide commitment to help Californians pursue their higher education goals by waiving their tuition fees. It's for qualified students and for the entire school year. In addition, many local community colleges will offer their own Promise partnerships to kind of also help pay for books, supplies, and other expenses. And throughout this presentation, we'll also be talking about that in depth. And we also have an awesome video that we're going to be sharing in the link, and I hope that you all can see it. So which fees are waived with your College Promise Act? Well, the California College only waives enrollment fees, so it's really important for you to know that. You are responsible to pay any fees that are not covered by your award at the time of registration to avoid being dropped for non-payment. So I have a little check mark here where it says a check that says attention fees may vary depending on the selected community college. This is just an example of student fees at a community college. So it's really important for you to complete your DREAM Act or financial aid so you can get additional funding from Cal Grants to pay for these student fees. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to our next slide to Kim.
So who is eligible? These are some of our eligibility requirements to qualify for the California College Promise Grant. You must be a student planning to or currently attending a California community college, and you must be determined a resident or be exempt from non-resident fees under the California DREAM Act. California residents and students with the AB 540 status can apply for the California College Promise Grant by completing the FAFSA or the DREAM Act and or submitting a manual form to the financial aid office. We're going to be showing you an example of that form later on. And you must have a financial need. So the financial need is determined based on factors including your parents' income and the household size. The first step to determine if you have financial need is to complete that FAFSA or California DREAM Act application, because that's going to open doors to all types of financial aid that you can possibly qualify for. So how do I apply? As mentioned before, you're going to submit your FAFSA or California Dream Act, and you're also going to submit your community college application. The link is right there. We'll link it in the chat as well. It's cccapply.org. And please note that the California College Promise Grant begins in the summer semester of each academic year, and it has to be renewed every year. So continuing your academic requirements to maintain your California Promise Grant, you must maintain the following. You have to maintain a 2.0 GPA or higher and complete 50% of your coursework or higher. And in order to continue receiving this Promise Grant, you must maintain the academic and progress standards of the California College Promise Grant program. So if you don't meet these academic or progress standards for 2 consecutive semesters, you are going to lose your grant. So a student who loses eligibility due to failure to make any academic standards, it's okay because you can still file a California College Promise Grant appeal at the selected community college. So depending on your community college, you can submit an appeal directly to them if you lose that eligibility. Okay, Hector.
Cool. So give me 1 second. The slide got a little bit ahead of me. Let me go ahead and go back 1 second. There we go. So as Kim mentioned, one of the ways that you can submit your California College Promise application is by filling out this form, and then you just go ahead and submit that over to the financial aid office at the school that you're attending. For some community colleges, they make it a little bit easier for you. At the time that you submit your college application, they'll include these questions as part of that own application, right? So 2 options, either one, you can print out this form and then submit it to the financial aid office, or some colleges already include this application in their own application. All right. So this part might be a little bit confusing, but feel free to stop me if you guys have any questions. So apart from the California College Promise, right? That's the one that the state of California offers you. Colleges in LA offer their own Promise Grant. So for example, Cerritos College, Long Beach City College, Rio Hondo, ELAC, LA Trade Tech, each of them also offer their own individual one, right? Regardless of which one you get, they're both going to cover your tuition and your fees, right? So those $46 to $50 per unit, they'll go ahead and pay that for you, right? But apart from that, there's also some other differences that I wanted to make sure we go over in this presentation. So I'm going to get into that in the next slide. Right, so as I stated earlier, there's 2 college promises, right? There's one from the state of California, and there's one from each individual community college in LA, right? So like Santa Monica, Long Beach, and ELAC. They each offer their own California College Promise, regardless of whichever one you get, the one from the state or the one from Santa Monica or the one from ELAC, they're each gonna cover your tuition, right? So it's $40 to $60. What makes them different is that Santa Monica, Long Beach, and ELAC will offer you like these additional incentives, right? So they might offer you book vouchers. What does that mean? That means they'll like give you like it depends on your income, but they'll might pay for your books, right? So they might give you $200, $300 to pay for your books, right? In addition to that, you might get priority class registration, right? So that means that you can sign up for your classes earlier. They offer counseling services, tutoring services, right? But here's the catch. Some of them might have some like additional requirements, right? So they might ask you, okay, you have to graduate from a specific school district. You might have to take classes over the summer. You might have to enroll full-time. So that's the biggest difference between the California College Promise and then the College Promise that these individual colleges in LA offer, right? They're going to offer you more things, but they're also going to have some additional requirements that you're going to have to take care of in order to qualify. Right, so in the next slide, we're going to be talking about how do you apply. Right, this one can get a little bit tricky because each application is school specific. Right, so all the colleges in the Los Angeles Community College District, so like ELAC, Trade Tech, LA Southwest, they have their own application, right? You can apply there at lacollegepromise.org/apply, right? Then Cerritos College has their own application. And like I was saying earlier, some community college already include their college promise application in their college application. So again, you might not have to fill out an extra form or anything, but everything's school specific. So that's why it's so important that you go ahead and check your emails. Right, so just a friendly reminder, as Kim went over, these are just some of the requirements that you're gonna have in order to be eligible for the California College Promise. So a minimum of a 2.0 GPA and hold that for 2 consecutive terms, right? You have to pass at least half of your classes, and then you'll have 30 days, or you'll be notified within 30 days of the end of each term if you're being placed on academic probation. Right, so these are just some additional resources that we wanted to make sure that we shared with you guys. So just in case you need help with anything on campus, you can always go to CC Pathways. A lot of colleges will offer the first year experience, EOPS or EOP, great programs to be a part of. They'll hook you up with like book vouchers, tutoring, counseling, and there's a lot more. And then of course we wanted to emphasize our CalSO first year persistence program. So that's what Kim and I manage. We help students navigate through their first year, connecting them with resources, job opportunities, scholarships, financial aid, pretty much whatever you need help with your first year of college, we're there for you, including emotional support as well. Right, so we wanted to thank you guys for joining us for this quick presentation. As always, feel free to connect with us. We have tons of resources on our website at calsopla.org, and then you guys can always follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We'll stay in contact with you guys through there as well.